Hey, welcome guys. Welcome to another weekly prayer prayer request. Kind of weekly. We missed last week.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. We had our class and it kept us busy. I know a lot of you guys will understand that. But hey, last night I was sitting around thinking about what do I need to do as an icebreaker for some of the folks that we're working with. And this morning when I woke up, Thomas, the question came to me and said, hey, what would you do if you had unlimited money? He said, ask that question to the people. So I'm going to ask you guys. What would your life be like if you found yourself magically with unlimited money? So, and then what's interesting is after hearing that question to be asked, okay, I'm going to ask that. I go to my daily little ritual, listen to a little Chuck Swindoll, and about 10 minutes into his message, he asked the same question, which then kind of led around to the scripture that Thomas is going to share with you. So
That's amazing.
So Thomas, read the scripture for us.
I think God wanted you to hear that.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. It's how God works. All right, so we're going to be reading from James chapter 4, verses 2 and 3. You want what you don't have, so you scheme and kill to get it. You are jealous of what others have, but you can't get it, so you fight and wage war to take it away from them. Yet you don't have what you want because you don't ask God for it. And even when you do ask, you don't get it because your motives are all wrong. You only want what will give you pleasure. Yeah. Now that's interesting because, the reality is, and I'm just speaking for myself, is that too many times when I pray for what I want and need, when in reality what we should be doing is praying God's will first. Right. That His will be done in our lives because He's promised to give us everything, not necessarily that we want, but He's promised to supply everything that we need.
Indeed. And when I asked myself the question, what would I do if I had unlimited resources? And then I found myself asking the question, would I do this work? Mm-hmm. It's kind of an interesting gut check moment right there because I do feel like this is the work. Like right now at this stage in my life, I feel like working with contractors is my mission work. And then if I said, what would happen if I found myself being abundantly wealthy, it was given to me. Yeah. I kind of find myself going, I don't know if I do my mission work. Yeah. I don't know if I do my life's work. Yeah. And then therefore I'm pretty sure I'm not going to hit the lotto until my heart gets into a position where it goes, okay, you're abundantly wealthy. Are you still going to do what I'm calling you to do? And
I tell you what, I've even been thinking along those same lines, but a little bit different, which is, what am I doing with the resources I have now? Yeah. Because the reality is that both of us are blessed to be able to do what we love to do. We get paid well to do it. Where in my life am I giving back? Right. Because, there's the 10% obviously to the church, but there's also 10% to the poor, to the needy. What am I doing above and beyond to give with the resources I have now? So my thought process is, if I'm not willing to do with what I have now, why would God give me more?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So there's a thought for you guys, which is, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? And if you are, and just
and what's the motive behind it?
Yeah, absolutely. Have you asked God for what you need? And what's crazy is it's a promise. You'll get it, but only if you ask correctly. What's your motives? Right. Yeah. You're not going to get it just because you want it for your own pleasure, but you'll get it if it further serves the purpose of God. Which goes back to what Jesus says, in all things seek first the kingdom of heaven. And if your heart gets geared in that direction, what's interesting is that your desires will line up, and He's going to give you all those things.
That's right.
I want to show you one last thing. It's just something that was on my mind. I don't know, many of you guys may or may not have this, but this is a prayer board. And there are some old prayers on here. You see the scripture came off my prayer board, so I just thought, man, isn't that amazing? God's just speaking to us today. So I encourage you to make one for yourself. There's many things you can put on here. Love your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you. That's something that I have to do consistently. Pray like this. Our Father that art in heaven. You guys know the prayer. If you don't, look it up. Matthew 6:5 through 14. James 4:2 through 3. That's one that's important to me. So guys, there's some scriptures on here. I got my family, which is grown. I got the United States. I got the church. I'm losing. Maybe I'm supposed to read that one too. But a prayer board's a great idea. You take a prayer board, you put the folks on here, the folks you need to pray for. I've got names of people on here that I pray blessings over, that that you might go enemies, whatever you might consider that, but it really helps humble you. It helps you keep you focused, and it's just a good idea. You might have noticed that there was a clock in the background, which is one of my favorite verses, which isn't necessarily on here, but it's teach us to number our days so that we gain a heart of wisdom. Your time's limited, so make the most of it.
That's right.
Hey, by the way, which brings up another question. If you could get unlimited money, is there any point in your life where you'd go back and trade 3 or 5 years of relationship, or even in the future trade 3 or 5 years of relationship, give up that time, either in the future or in the past, just to get the money? And I can tell you, for me, I'm not willing to give up any of it.
Yeah, but the sad thing is, in the culture that we live in today, so many people are so focused on the money. And I love what God says about that. You can only serve one master.
That's right.
It's either going to be the mammon, which is the money and all the selfish desires, or it can be God.
Mm-hmm.
And where your heart is, there you will be also. So,
whew, I'm fired up, man.
Yeah.
One last
Powerful.
thing then. Talk about when you do get something, being thankful.
Mm-hmm.
I love the story of Moses taking people in the promised land. I tell a lot of the stories, but how about this? How about God giving them what they needed?
He gave me what I need right now. It's amazing. We had I've been dealing with this right knee issue, and yesterday all of the men in the church prayed over my knee, and today it's not completely healed yet, right. But he's not done yet either.
This is where some of the folks watching this video think we're crazy now, but it does. Prayer does work.
Prayer works. Great prayer.
Prayer does work.
Great results.
Great
That's
results.
Right.
So what about the guys getting that manna, and after they get that
right.
manna, food from heaven, a couple of them complained.
Yeah.
What about some meat?
That's right.
That's like asking God for a couple service calls. You get your service calls, and then you go, but what about some installs?
But what about some installs?
God sent them meat. And what's crazy, he sent them flocks. Said the least man collected 50 bushel of quails, and as they were chewing on the meat, he struck them with a plague.
Yeah.
That just is kind of like a reminder, hey, be thankful for what you have. You know what? And we're obviously trying to pursue this abundant life, and we believe in it, going out and achieving more. God's got big plans for you, and I absolutely believe that. And I think that you can pursue an abundant life, and you can pursue the best of what God has in store for you, and be thankful in the moment.
That's right.
Of what you have as well.
And it's the intention behind it. You know, what's the desire of your heart? Is it to help people, which I know is my desire, your desire is to help people, and through that we are rewarded from God, not from our actions or what we've done, but from Him. So.
Absolutely. So this was the ramblings of Todd and Thomas. I hope that some of you found it beneficial.
Yeah.
Oh, and hey, by the way, spread the word. Let's get more folks submitting their prayers. Let's get more folks giving over what they need in terms of becoming a prayer warrior. So if you're not spreading the message, spread the message. It's really easy to become a prayer warrior. Just go to our website, Serve Extra. There's probably links in the email that you're going to get here. Share it. Let them know what we're doing. We really, really want to support the community through prayer. Prayer is powerful. God is powerful. Let Him work through you. Y'all take care.